Okay, so let's talk about Discord. So, for my classes, for about the last year now, I've used various other tools in the past to have give students the ability to talk real time to me and to each other. And I've switched and I'm very happy I did. I love Discord. Discord is a open source free service. Open source, if you've never heard this term, is really that they create something and they open source it. They show people how they create it. They also offer many free levels. And in this case, Discord is very popular. If you do gaming at all, you've probably heard of Discord. And so for my classes, and this means all of my classes, I run a Discord server. And what you will have, and I'll show you in a minute the links to actually do this, you will have been invited. Now, Discord is not required. Okay. Discord gives you a way. So I'm encouraging you. I would suggest to you, but I won't make you because honestly, I shouldn't do that. But why? This is how I use it. So, what I love is that oftentimes students are working on something and email can seem old and antiquated. I agree with that because it's like you send an email, you wait to see is somebody there. Well, Discord is a lot real-time interactive chat. You and I suspect most of you have used some kind of chat system in your world, right? This is just that, but not but with everyone in this class, including me. And here's how I want you to think about it too. Like if you are working on something, let's say at midnight, right at the due date, and your stress level can be high, and you think, well, if I could ask somebody a question here, it'd be helpful. Now, as I've already said, I recommend doing this before, but I also get that our lives, can be different in the respect of when we can work on things. So I want to give you avenues because at midnight, I'm not going to be around. But there's probably a decent chance one of your fellow students will be. So when you're getting on, probably anytime after 7 o'clock, maybe 6 o'clock at night, depending on the day, I'm not going to be around. And you're not asking me directly, you're asking anyone that's on the Discord server. So I just want you to kind of contextualize, understand that this is how we use it. So, because I think students, I've experienced them asking me questions directly. And what I try to say to them is, yeah, try not to do that because other students will see you asking me and they won't interact. And that's not the idea, right? The idea is that I want you to have a way to get support. Now, you can also email me, absolutely, but just know that if it's later at night, I'm probably not. Good chance I'm not going to be around. So let me switch over here. So now, and I've switched from the student view for just a second. So we're just the video here. So I just want to give you a little bit. So if you want to know any more about the Discord server, you can do that, right? Actually, reasons to join. I think these are duplicates. I need to get rid of them. This is the other cool thing I really love about Discord, and true with most things. Like if you may have heard of something called Slack or MS Teams or even Google's Chat. Like I've used all those systems. And one thing that is generally true for all of them anymore is that you can use the system on your desktop or on your mobile phone. Now, this is why I really especially like this. Their mobile phone app is really pretty good. And so I like that you can choose and you know which one. So what this is this is a invite. Okay, so I'm not going to go through the process of you creating an account. It's pretty straightforward. You just walk through it and you will then be added, or you'll be added to the server. Now I'm actually on the server here, and this is the server, and what happens is your invite, let me just give you a little little lowdown on what's here. So there's text channels, there's voice channels, and then there's the current FCC student channels. Now, the reason this is true is that I have some students that have taken my class in the past year. So they are here as well, which is, by the way, another resource. If for some reason, when you're down here in just your class chat, you may not find somebody active, but you may actually see other people not in our course, but in like you could ask in general, because I also teach Python and JavaScript, or you have a Fresno City question. But one thing I want to point to your direction is the code of conduct. So I'm going to go up here to the code of conduct and click on this. And I want you to know that our server follows the code of conduct that has been used by many Python groups. Now, this is not that we're focused in Python, it's that somebody from the Python community wrote a wonderful, and I agree with all of it, code of conduct. So be kind, be courteous, be welcoming, be inclusive. Right. Don't spam, don't say derogatory things, don't call people out in a way that's not helpful. It's okay to have discussions, these are good, but just know that this server has a code of conduct. Okay. And I found that by going up to code of conduct, and then I clicked up in the top. So, where you would go as a student at FCC is your invite will, I think, drop you here, but by this time you may have already clicked around and found other things. And if you're already on other servers, you're going to see that here. Okay. So what I want you to know is when you're here for CIT82, these are locked channels. And what that means is I only allow current students in the current semester, that's why it's called current FCC students, to be in these channels, because I want you to have a place with just your classmates to be able to ask, talk about stuff, whatever. So what you have to do is when you're here, once you get here, is you just ask me, right? So just put a message up that says, let me see if I can find one. And you can see some students were posting in here just other questions, right? Like here's one is, can you add me to CIT 93? So for you, you could just say, could you add me to CIT 82? So what will happen is when you first get in here, you won't see any of these other channels because again, they are locked, right? They're limited. And I add students whatever their name, their Discord name is, because when you ask me, I can see your Discord name and I will put you in the correct channel. Okay. All right. So let me come back here for a second. So that's Discord, reasons I use it, how to use it, just the way to think about it. The other thing is on both desktop and more importantly on mobile is that hopefully you know this, and I suspect most of you do, is that sometimes if the chat gets pretty active, on your phone you get notifications and you're like, I don't want to hear that. You just mute it. Just mute the channel or the whole server if you want. There's different options there. So that if you're somewhere that you don't want to hear it, you won't. So that's a very common feature. I know on my desktop now, I can I have this nice level of control as well. Okay. All right. So that's the Discord server. Please consider joining it. I think there's a real benefit to joining it for this semester and again for an ongoing basis, because I have now a growing population of students that have taken these classes, and often they're just not often, they are a great resource besides myself. They are a great resource to lean into for various things. Not, there may be community events, there may be job postings. I post anybody that comes to me, because I get several people do this semester asking me, hey, I'm looking for a student, do you know? And I post it out on Discord. So just know it is a great way to connect with your classmates and with me in real time. All right, so let's go back here. Other way. So coming back here. So let me just show you, going back now, I'm just going to give you again that student view, right? So now that you've viewed this, you can hit next. And what happens now is you're into week 1, okay? So I'm going to come back here just to show you what this looks like. So now that you get through all of this, okay, you now have a check mark, and now you have the week 1 stuff to work on. Now, I actually am recording next new videos for these 3 because I noticed by reviewing them now that they're a little bit dated, so it's time for me to update them. But this week 1 attendance, I'm not going to update. I recorded it, I believe, last semester. But normally, and I actually say this in here, is that normally what happens is that I will, and this is kind of just the way the class flows. So let me go back to calendar and show you this, so to help you visually see what I'm talking about, is that here, and I'll roll forward. what will happen is the first week, you'll see that attendance I've already recorded. But starting in week 2, what I will do is on Friday, after I finish doing the final grading of whatever the work was submitted for that day, then I will record a video for the following week. Okay. And so and why that's important is that I then talk about some things that I've seen, just give you some heads up on stuff. And so just know that from here on out, that video will be most likely recorded in the current semester. And then from after, actually, this week will be a little different. I'll probably talk about this here in the About 82. So I think I'll hold that discussion for now. But I just want you to know how this first week works. And I hope this overview has at least given you a good place to start. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.